Hi, Weeknight wine lovers. I have an interesting, affordable, and delicious wine to share with you today. And the reason I'm counting off three is because we're going to talk about the wine, we're going to talk about Tuscany, and we are going to talk about why this is called a Super Tuscan and what a Super Tuscan really is. So first of all, this is the Brancaia Tre. Tre is T-R-E. Tre is the Italian pronunciation for three. There are three grapes in here from three vineyards, and it's from Toscana. So we're heading back to Italy this week. And so Toscana is that area above Rome that you've heard of before, I know, because you've heard of the food and the wine and the people, and it's all true. It is a wonderful place to visit and a delicious place to both eat and drink. So Brancaia is the name of the winery, and Toscana is where it's from. Toscana is the same thing as Tuscany. Toscana is the Italian pronunciation. Tuscany is the English pronunciation. So let me tell you a little bit about this wine and winery before we taste it together and then we talk about the wine. Okay, so Brancaia was started in 1981, and it was started by, believe it or not, a Swedish couple who came to Tuscany and, just like the rest of us do, fell in love. They bought a Tuscan vineyard, then two more, and today it's the 40-year anniversary, or actually I should say this year, because they came in 1981 and this year's 2021, so 40th anniversary. Now their whole family is involved. Their daughter's the winemaker. They have grandchildren that are working on social media and websites. The other brother is in charge of finance, so it's truly a family affair, and they are charming when you meet them on their website even. Brigette and Bruno are celebrating their 80th birthday this year, so they started this when they were 40, and look what it's become, because this wine is sent all over the world, and this wine is a Super Tuscan. And you may ask yourself, what is a Super Tuscan? I've heard that name before, but I don't know exactly what it is. So Super Tuscans are Italian red wines that were created in the 70s and 80s. Italian winemakers were getting really frustrated with Italian wine bureaucracy, who said that they could not put in non-indigenous grapes in their bottles of wine. So non-indigenous just means that the grapes that didn't come from Italy. This wine is mostly Sangiovese. We think of Sangiovese, and actually this whole central Italian area is all about Sangiovese. We think about it as being an Italian grape, but the other two grapes in here are Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. So Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot are non-indigenous grapes. In the 70s and 80s, winemakers were not allowed to put those into their wine because the Italian bureaucracy said, no, it must just be indigenous grapes. The Italian winemakers in the 70s and 80s, they rebelled. They created wine that was just table wine, but oh my gosh, what table wine it was. Probably one of the first was something called Tiganello, if you've ever heard of it. Along came Sassicaia. These wines sell for hundreds of dollars a bottle, and they are wonderful. But a Super Tuscan doesn't mean that it's expensive. A Super Tuscan just means that it is wine that's made with some non-indigenous grapes. Like this one is made with 80% Sangiovese and a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot for the rest of the makeup of the wine in the bottle. So Super Tuscans can be $20 and hundreds of dollars. So I hope you know what a Super Tuscan is now. Now we're going to taste this Super Tuscan together. So if I look at the color, it's a beautiful, dark, deep, rich ruby color. Not quite garnet, ruby. And I'm going to swirl and smell it. Wow, it smells delicious. But you already knew that because I told you that. It smells like dark red cherries. It smells a little bit like dark chocolate to me, or cocoa powder. And I almost get some cedar on it. Oh my gosh. Those aromas are very typical, or have typicity for a super Tuscan, especially one made with these grapes. So let's taste it together. Oh my gosh. I let it run all over my mouth. In the back of, on either side of my tongue, I can tell acidity. My mouth is watering. It's good, medium, maybe even medium plus acidity. I let it run up underneath my front lip. Those are tannins. They come from seeds. They come from skins. They could come from stems. Underneath my front lip, I got to brush my teeth. So that means there are some tannins in here. This wine is going to go great with anything off the grill. Oh my gosh. Of course, meaty meat, pork chops. Also, I'd pair it with pizza or anything that's red sauce. So good with those kind of foods. You're going to want to serve it up a little cooler than room temperature, maybe 65 degrees. So if you've got it in your wine rack, you want to pop it into the fridge for 20 or 30 minutes just to take the room temperature off. Because remember, if you drink wine that's room temperature, red and room temperature, you're going to get two things. You're going to get tannins and alcohol. And you don't want to miss the wonderful flavors in this wine. Again, I found this one for about $20 in the grocery store. Yay! The Brancaia winery does a whole range of wines. You can find others in your wine store, but this one is easily accessible. I hope you buy this wine. I hope you enjoy this wine this week. And I hope you join me next week for another Weeknight Wine. I'm Nancy Waldeck. I am a healthy chef partyologist, and you can find me at Taste and Savor. Cheers to Weeknight Wines.